Make sure we're live on Instagram. Instagram's kind of always like a crapshoot. It's just like, oh, is it working? Is it? Oh yeah, we're good. Go live there. Thank you, Jesus, for the progress that we've made in this time here. All right, let's get into this. Get this cord out of the way. All right, I'm gonna do the intro here, and then we're gonna get into this conversation. All right. What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Culture Shift with Raven50mm. We are here reimagining radio and podcasting by merging the two together for immaculate vibes while leveraging blockchain and Web3 tools to experiment with monetization and distribution methods. Brought to you by the Legacy Portrait Project and 50mm Collective. The 50mm Collective is a BIPOC, trans, and queer digital artist collective that's made up of allies and artists that work together as we pioneer Web3 and NFTs. The 50mm Collective has a YouTube channel with tutorials and helpful info on how to get a crypto wallet set up and to get started with archiving your artwork on the blockchain. And the second sponsor of Culture Shift is the Legacy Portrait Project. And the Legacy Portrait Project is a mission-driven endeavor aimed at empowering BIPOC, trans, and queer individuals. In a world often marked by adversity, the Legacy Portrait Project strives to create a haven for storytelling, utilizing visionary tools like future framing, visualization, and AR technology to uplift marginalized voices. Legacy portraits are still photographs that come to life with video narration, sharing the subject story from their point of view. The Legacy Portrait Project's mission goes beyond capturing moments in time. It's about fostering human connection, advancing social change, driving socioeconomic empowerment, and ensuring the legacy of each subject is forever memorialized on the blockchain. Right now, the Legacy Portrait Project is running a raffle for 3 people to win $1,000 off their first Legacy Portrait. You can sign up for that at legacyportraitproject.com/contact. All right, today is a great day. It's a special day because of everything we had to get through to go live and have this conversation with the one and only JuuJuuMama. How are you today? Thank you so much for being here and joining us. How you living? How you feeling?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad we worked through our traumas and dramas and trials and tribulations. Here we are.
Amen. Yes, truly, truly. Let me intro y'all to JuuJuuMama here. JuuJuuMama is an artist, curator, yoga instructor, and entrepreneur. She has artwork across multiple NFT marketplaces, including SuperRare, Zora, and Exchange.art. While crafting stunning artwork, her art explores themes of identity, connectedness, and Black culture. In addition to being an artist, she's also an art curator, curating some of the most exquisite collections to grace the blockchain with Itan World. She is quickly making a name for herself in the crypto art world as an intentional artist and builder in the NFT space. Sierra, are we using the government here?
That's
Is
fine.
it
That's fine.
okay, my bad, cause we
You
live.
can use either.
All right. Sierra, also known as JuuJuuMama, is with us today, and we're just gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into the questions here. What sparked your career as an artist?
Oh, life. No, really. I mean, life experience. Like a lot of my artwork is people doing things, couples in relationships, people with like family members, people by themselves, like expressing like loneliness or grief or sadness. So a lot of my art is just like inspired by experiences of being a human and like being in the world and existing. Um, and then I have artistically inclined sibling that has also been an inspiration. Like he's a really good traditional illustrator. And growing up, we would draw together a lot, and that was like a form of bonding.
Oh, that's beautiful. So is that your only sibling, or do you have a big family, or what's the family? How's the family like?
That is my only sibling. I have one younger brother who's 3 years younger than me. And that's it. It's just a small crew. Just I'm older sister. Just Are you an older or younger sibling?
That's what's up. I'm
Or
the oldest. I'm the oldest of five. So I have two brothers and two sisters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I love it though. Like I love my family so much. Like they are, each one of them is like just so unique, and yeah, they're amazing. Um, no, that's dope.
Hmm.
That's really dope. That's dope that you and your brother are able to connect on that level, you know, of like artistically and creating.
Absolutely. And then too, like, I don't know, like you like paint and sips.
Paint and sips, okay. Yeah, yeah, I've
As
been to
I
a
get
couple of those.
older too,
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate a good paint and sip as I move through my adult years. I'm like, okay, hold up. This is kind of grown and sexy. Let me.
Yeah, 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 for real though. No, that's paint and sips are a good time. Those are a good time. And I feel like okay, so that's interesting too that you, because I follow a lot of your artwork in the AI artwork, but that's cool that you have a traditional side too of. Can you speak to a little bit about that? Because has that artwork graced the blockchain yet with the traditional work?
Very little. I think I have like, no, no, I don't think I've minted any of my physical. I've posted pictures of it, but I haven't minted any of my physical art, only my AI art.
Oh shoot! Okay, okay, that's really cool
Um,
though. Are there any particular themes centered around like people or family that you find your artwork gravitating towards more so? Any
yeah,
themes
I
or
find that
emotions?
absolutely. Romance and love is like a big theme. Like especially when you look at a lot of the recent work I've been putting on Zora, it's a lot of especially in the captions. Like I try to be expressive, not just in the art visually, but in how I choose to title it. And a lot of the captions just have to do with like feeling all the feelings for somebody, just like really being caught up and in the vibe. And like, yeah, I just love love and I love to express it in my art. And I think it's obvious when you look at it.
It is very apparent. I wanted to see if that was what your answer was was going to be. Um, is there is there any particular like moments in your life or yeah, like specific moments that you try to bring across in particular works?
Yeah, absolutely. So like a recurring theme in my art is like a lot of like interracial couples, which is not like I don't have any type of interracial couple fetish. I'm just the product of an interracial couple, and my husband is of a different culture and race than me. So I'm also like creating a new interracial family. So I just find it I don't know, it's a very like interesting experience. I don't Is it one that you identify with? Are you also like multiracial or are you like just straight up?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
half Hispanic and half African American, and I was raised with my Hispanic side, and so that's like a lot of my like culture with it. Like I had to do. I feel like I had to do a lot of searching to like connect with my black side and my African American side like on my own. Um, but like my family, Latinos, like yeah, like that is like Mexican culture for real, for real. Yeah.
Okay, so you feel me then. It's like very interesting, like coming up and having just like a mixed race or culture family. And then like especially also being a person who's kind of like racially ambiguous, it's just created a lot of like interesting experiences in terms of how I perceive myself and especially how other people perceive me because I realized that regardless of what I am or how I identify people will see me and reach their own conclusions and assumptions and that's just the nature of life. So interracial relationships are like a huge theme in my art with a lot of the couples. And then like also god, this sounds kind of depressing. It sounds depressing, but yeah, like deep sadness. Like something I've talked about a lot in other podcasts is like having PMDD and like overcoming PMDD, which is just like really severe premenstrual syndrome, like with really severe mood swings and going into like deep spells of depression and anxiety and feeling really low and bad. So like a lot of my artworks also just explore like themes of isolation and loneliness and just like those moments of just like feeling like hopeless, which is like a polar opposite of like romance and love.
But it's real. That's like you said. Overall, your work is capturing life's moments, right? And so like life is about the ups and the downs and figuring out how to navigate that. When you talk about the more difficult emotions to navigate, would you say like when you're in those times and those headspaces that um create like what kind of are you creating artwork that resembles that emotion that you're feeling, or are those the times when you're creating the romance side of artwork that you're trying to like get to that place?
That's a good question. Okay, so like something that I've noticed because I make text to image AI art, so I'm like typing text prompts with words and like before making text to image AI art, I was journaling a lot and I was like journaling incessantly almost every day, like all my feelings, just like writing them in my little journal. And I noticed once I started prompting and making AI art, I noticed I wasn't really journaling. Like I
Mm.
wasn't feeling inclined to journal. And then I really started like pondering on it and I was like, "Oh, snap, it's because the feelings and sentiments and words and energies that I would put into my journaling, I'm just channeling it into like a different form of expression and like I'm using it to make prompts to make my art. So like typically when I'm making like sad or lonely or art that's like kind of down, that's usually where I'm at mentally in the prompt. Like I there was one time because like I be in my feelings, and it was not that long. It was like I don't know my last birthday. I always find something to cry about. Like I am such. I think I had. I think I got sick on my last birthday, and I
Mm.
legit was just so sad that I. My husband took me to a nice restaurant, and I got so sad because I couldn't enjoy the food because I legit just had a terrible stomach ache, and we ended up having to leave.
I
And
feel like
then
that
like
is
in the
something to cry about. Like,
in the car on the way home, I was just like, ah. So like whatever. I'm on my phone and I'm on Mid Journey and I'm like typing a prompt and the prompt is like, it's my birthday and I can cry if I want to.
wow, immediately to like create the art, like wow, that
And
is
then I typing all these things and like I ended up getting a piece of art and I could go back and I have to go back and find it and send it to you. It's like
please.
this girl like sitting at a restaurant with like a food like a plate that's half eaten and like birthday balloons and she's just like there and sad and crying.
No way. Wow. As you're like in the car,
So
like like probably like wiping tears, like as you're prompting. Oh my goodness, that's like
oh my god.
that is a perspective that I hadn't gotten before when it comes to AI and prompting. That like really thank you for sharing that because that like really brings like like the humanity into. I mean, it just that wow, that was like that just makes so much sense. Like seeing your work, like there is so much humanity into it, and so to hear that like vulnerable, genuine moment, yeah, wow, that was
Oh my goodness.
yeah, that's
Yeah, it's crazy. So absolutely, there's a lot of like yeah, there's a lot of raw experience and emotion that goes into making and of course the AI does its thing and I'm always impressed by what they I'm like, dang, like it imagines things beyond what I can even comprehend or begin to think of, and that in itself is like a privilege and honor to have access to the tool.
mm, truly, that's a very good point. I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about your. We were talking about your artistry, but I want to get into talking about your curating work and your curatorial process and just like that when you switch gears and like how you what that process is like shifting gears from focusing on your artwork to tapping into curator mode and getting into your curatorial bag.
It's It's a pleasure. It's a nice balance to like, because I don't know, you know, you're a creative. You can kind of get burnt out on your own stuff, especially if you're just like back to back to back to back. You can kind of get worn out. So there are times I need a break from looking at my own art, and when I'm curating, it's just it's nice, and it's almost like dang, I don't want to sound exploitive, but it's like free inspiration. Like I swear, because I'm looking at awesome art all day, and it's like I can't not be inspired. Like I can't not let these like visuals and themes and stories like stick with me and influence me. And like that to me is even better than anything. Is just like the way it enriches me as an individual is just like priceless.
You do such a great such a great job in curating these different would you call them exhibitions or would like
Yeah,
okay, okay. I want to make sure I had the language correct there. And your focus has been can you please say it so I can make sure that
yeah.
I say
Okay, so it's Itan.
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 See,
Mm,
I knew I was
Itan.
slipping in there with the A. I'm
That's
from
all
Michigan,
good.
so I be doing some weird things with A's and I's, and
Mm.
the accent be going. I'm like, dog, what? What you just
Mm,
say? I'll
it's
listen
all
back, and
good.
I'm like, what are we doing? Itan, Itan World. Um, yeah. What inspired that curatorial? I feel like it's an ongoing curatorial project because we see multiple exhibitions coming out, which I'm just like, when's the next one? This is so exciting. And so what inspired that initially?
Whew, there is yeah, there's like a surface level kind of way I got there, and then there's, you know, you're a spiritual person connected to God and source energy.
Amen.
Then there's also like, you know, a more complicated and deep version of how I got there. The shallow version of how I got there is last year during the summer, for the first time ever, I sold out an NFT collection on OpenSea. Yes, OpenSea somehow. I don't know how it happened, but I sold one out, and I had like I
We're
had
not about to
like
just speed past that. Like, wait a second. Let's acknowledge that. There we go.
uh,
There we go.
so yeah, no, I was on a roll. It was like I was doing good. It was like my first of a couple that sold out within a few months, and I was just like I was feeling myself. I had like one ETH in sales, and I was just like, you know what, like I want to spread the love, and like I want to buy some art. So I did like a shill thread, and I was like, all right, y'all, I just sold out my collection. I want to like buy some art. Show me your art, and whatever. There were God knows how many responses, hundreds, hundreds. And then I just noticed, I couldn't help but notice, and anyone who's in the NFT space is aware of this. Like there's a huge Nigerian community in the NFT space. And if you're not aware, I don't know, you haven't been looking because they're everywhere. So like I'm looking through my comments and I'm just seeing just Nigerian after Nigerian and like sprinkled in there, like maybe there's somebody from like Benin or Togo, somewhere else in West Africa, but it was almost all Nigerians. In terms of the art that stood out to me, that was like cool stuff, like charcoal works and ballpoint pen drawings and
Mm.
like just amazing stuff. So I'm like, dude, this is awesome. So I'm doing my show thread, I'm shopping, I'm buying from all types of artists. And then like, I don't know, something says to me, like, you need to like all of these Nigerian and West African artists that you've discovered through this shill thread, like you need to round them up. You need to round them up and get their art all in one place because like Web3 is not seeing or valuing or caring about like African art and like all these other like trash whack projects are selling out and getting so much attention. And it's like, why are these incredibly talented people who like whose lives could be changed from one of these sales like not getting any attention? So like that was the initial thing in terms of how Eton came to be. And then we did an open call. A friend of mine, Jinmi Abduls, who's also like an Afrobeats artist, helped me curate like the initial cohort of Eton artists. And then we did our first exhibition. But then like that aside, more deeply in terms of Itan, like mm, I guess okay. So my dad is black and my mom is Puerto Rican and Italian. So I'm half Black. And like many Black people in America, there's always been like a sense of like disconnection from like just like heritage and cultural roots. Like, obviously, we have our African American culture that's very strong and prominent here in the United States, but like, in terms of just a sense of where we come from beyond that, like
Hmm.
beyond this few hundred years, Africans, as African Americans, we can tap into like this ancient lineage. So that being said, in recent years, through technological innovations, ancestry and DNA, all this stuff, my dad discovered that our African and our African American is like Nigerian. so,
Hey.
so like, and then a few other things came, like Togo came up, and Benin and Cameroon, like a few percentages, but like my African is West Africa. So like, it's fascinating that things have come full circle, because I never intended to go down this road, but it's almost like I was meant to be
For sure.
down this road. So here I am.
Beautiful. Wow, that is like, and so you found that out about your ancestry after you had been.
Out before Itan. I found this out probably like a couple years before Itan. But there was never like, I mean, it did inspire good juju, which is my crystal store, like,
Okay.
which is 5 years old, and juju is West African witchcraft and magic. So it has inspired different moves I've taken, but I didn't really like I didn't set out on this journey to create this African art collective. It just like fell into place and worked out.
That's beautiful. I love just like you seeing that there's like a need for something and just being like, cool, I'm gonna do it. And like just going after it, because that's like my whole vibe is like, cool, like even with starting Culture Shift in these Black History Month, celebrating us during Black History Month, it was just like, really nothing, cool, bet we're about to do this ourselves, and it feels way better, honestly. Like, these conversations have been incredible, and just like learning about different people and artists, and now we're connected. Like, it's been lit. This is great. um well, I want to ask, so what are your future plans with curating, Eton? Do you have, like, there's some conferences coming up with Web3 and NFTs? Do you have work plans to like showcase some of the artists during the conferences? Like, what we're thinking here?
Yeah, so there is so much planned that it's like insane. So we just had our first physical exhibition literally yesterday in
What?
Nigeria.
Yo,
Yeah,
what? Wait,
yeah.
wait, 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 wait. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, let's killing
Hmm.
it. I told y'all. I told y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Killing it. What? Okay, let's pull over. We're gonna talk about that. Share some details. Who was highlighted? You said it was in Nigeria. Like, what the what? How did that come to be? Like, fill us in.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. Yeah. So much has happened recently. So when Itan was born, we were a foundation world on the foundation marketplace on
Okay.
Ethereum. And recently we've kind of like spread out, and we've branched out to Tezos and things like that. But a big goal for the collective was to not just exhibit digitally on Foundation, but to also have the exhibitions shown physically at any gallery of good reputation willing to work with us. And I guess I shouldn't say I guess through the work I've done with Itan, which in just a few months we had like over 10 Ethereum in sales in the foundation world, like a
Come on.
gallery.
I'm trying not to interrupt, but I'm so excited. Like, this is so
Yeah,
sweet.
so and then like all other type, like we had some like really prominent collectors, and like so whatever, like a gallery in Abuja, Nigeria, like came to take notice of Itan World, and basically like reached out to me and Itan, and we're just like, hey, like I see what you're doing, and like I want to work together, and like I want to like curate like exhibition, and like ultimately just asked me to like work at the gallery and like curate exhibitions in coordination with them with Itan. And like and the one that happened yesterday was our first one.
Yo, what? That is massive. Like seriously, congratulations. Like
Thank you.
that is so incredible. What?
Thank you. It's like kind of like I don't know. I couldn't be there physically, obviously. I'll tell you about plans to visit Nigeria later this year, later. But like, I couldn't be there. But there were so many photos and videos. I posted them on my Twitter and on Itan's Twitter and other places. But it was a great success, and it was a lot of work organizing it. So I'm proud it turned out well.
Wow, as you should be. That is like that is so massive. And honestly, what a testimony to just like being obedient to like this thing of I feel like I should be doing this thing and I'm not really sure what's gonna and then look at that. Like what? Cause it's one thing to curate digitally and that's what I love about this space is how accessible it is to like curate artwork and even showcase artwork with metaverse galleries and things like that. But it's a whole nother level when you get it into the physical, baby. Like that's like we are cooking when it gets into the physical locations, and just like it's an accomplishment for you, but also like the confidence boost for the artist to be like, yo, I had work shown at this gallery, yo, that changes that you start walking a little with your chest out a little bit, saying, introducing yourself with some bass in your voice. You start to, really show up. Oh wow, that is so beautiful. Like so many artists are gonna have been blessed by that, and that's just like that's incredible. Great work.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you appreciating me. And this was many of the artists' first time being physically exhibited in a gallery. So they were like, their excitement just made my heart want to explode. Like that when I saw the pictures and videos of them like standing, that just like, like you can see they're so happy. It just like, it's very touching and moving. And like also for them to like, see their art in a gallery in their home country of Nigeria and like be able to go and see it in person, like it's just awesome. So I was proud.
That's something special. That's really something special. Great work, truly. Like, wow. I had seen some photos on the timeline, but I wasn't quite sure like where or what was going on. So to like hear you tell the story and hear that here, wow, is like that's magic right there. Oh my goodness.
Yes, yes, it's on Foundation. It's called Binary Opposition. There are like almost 30 artworks, black and white photographs that are available. They're all one of one, like legit photos. They're not AI photos. They're taken by a photographer with a camera of a person.
Right. For real, right. For real photographs.
Hmm.
Wow. That is incredible. Definitely go check that out, y'all. Go on Foundation. Check out that. Is it? You said it's a Foundation World or is it an exhibition? Is that the same thing
It
now?
is, God, the foundation has rolled out some new. Okay, so Itan is a foundation world, but binary opposition, the specific exhibition, is its own situation within Itan. So you can
Okay.
find it by searching Itan or binary opposition, either.
Okay. Cool. Cool. That's great to know. We'll make sure folks go check that out. Um. Well, I'm getting into my next question. This has been like my next question is what's something that you're currently excited about? And I feel like we were talking we touched on that briefly, but I would love to hear more about anything, whether it be, artistically or even personally. What are some things that you're getting excited about currently?
Um, okay, so I guess in a general sense, I'm getting excited about the fact that like I've been making AI art for a while, like good AI art for a while. And I'm not like tooting my own horn. Like I see this stuff
No,
that's
no,
out there. Like
because it's the real deal. Like, yo, yeah,
like it kind of hits, like it's kind of good. And like I feel like finally something I'm excited about is like I feel like finally people are noticing, like taking note of like, oh wow, like this isn't like some low effort like crap. Like this person is really putting a significant amount of like intention and time and effort and technical skill into what's happening here. So like that's exciting, especially because just recently Forbes and Rareable had like an art contest and I was the winner and I was
Yo,
AI art. Yes.
yo, so much sauce, like
I
so many
know too much
wins.
happening.
Yo, talk about Black History Month for real. Like
Good to me. I can't lie. This has been one of the best Black History months for me. It's just like,
this is the
thank
only the
thank
beginning
God.
too. Hey, 2024, it's all coming for you, Sierra. All them
Mm,
dreams, all them hopes. Like that's just the beginning of it. Wow.
receiving that energy. So that was awesome. That was like to me, it was like the door opening wide open for like
Mm.
good things to come with my
Mm-hmm.
AI art, which is like awesome. And then other stuff I'm excited about, like I'm gonna speak at NFT NYC. I spoke last year, so it'll be the second time. I'm excited. I mean, last year they had me the last day of the conference, like the last hour of the conference. There were like 20 people sitting in front of me. So this time I think I'm like the middle day, a little earlier in the day, so I'm hoping there's a better turnout.
Awesome. Oh yeah, it will be for sure. That it kind of set you up there a little bit for that last time. Like,
Mhm. So whatever, I'm going to talk about AI art. That should be good. And then the last thing I'm looking forward to is like we're planning like ongoing physical exhibitions in Nigeria at the gallery we're working with, which is called Countervail Gallery in Abuja, and we're planning or trying to plan like a really big exhibition for June, but it requires like sponsors. And we're in this process of like with a pitch deck trying to solicit sponsors, hopefully someone in Web3, so that we can get some different, like screens and tech resources to just make it a better experience. So God willing, I can collect funds for this. I plan and hope to go out to Nigeria in June for this exhibition, if we can find the funds and pay for everything.
oh yeah, that's definitely about to happen. Wow, that is. So that's what you were saying. In terms of you had mentioned you might be visiting Nigeria. Is that
Yes,
okay? Okay, very cool. June. Hey, a lot can happen between now and June.
I hope so.
Do you have your pitch deck together and everything, and you've been already like reaching out? Okay, cool.
I've been sending it. I've been sending. If you know anybody, hey, anyone who's listening this, like, and that's the thing that I noticed too is like, whatever, not to I don't know. These DEI initiatives are hot. People are looking to spend money to support minorities and people of color. And it's like, this is completely focused on African, like legit Africans. So it's like, I don't see why not. Why
Right.
not give me the money?
Yo, for real. And I would actually like to hear your thoughts on this of like I I get it what gets me really excited about web3 is like just like this really unique intersection that we're operating at um with the tech and then the finance and the art and things like that. And I just feel like, there are certain artists, certain creators like yourself who are um who this ecosystem is more than just the art. Like you see it as like a vehicle to really enrich and empower um, other people's lives. And yeah, can you speak a little bit how just like how you see Web3 as being like um, or I guess like more of like this potential of collaboration between the tech companies and the creators to like I don't know, just like not to sound cliche, but to like bring more positivity and more impact into the world by like using these tech and tools and art kind of being like the vehicle for that. Can you like I don't even know if that was a question, but just speak to what your thoughts are on that.
No, absolutely. I'm catching what you're putting down. Um, yeah, nah, this technology is incredibly powerful and it's just I don't know, man. It's like any powerful force can be used for good or for bad. And it's just like There are people whose only perception of crypto and Web3 is scams and illicit, human trafficking, drug, who knows, like Silk Road, and it's just like, okay, well, that's not all that's happening here.
Right.
And then there are people like me on the complete opposite side of the spectrum who have like only had like I've made cool friends, I've learned a new language, I've connected with people all across the globe, I've made all types of money, I've circulated my art across the world. It's just like I feel nothing but good feelings, so my perception is molded on the positive experiences I've had. But that aside, um I feel like it just kind of boils down to like, yeah, man, if you know better, you do better. And it's just like, I know that this technology can provide resources to people that need it. And now that I know that, like, I can't unknow it. Like, I
Mm,
can't, like, just act like I don't know that there are a ton of incredibly talented people making art on the blockchain that no one looks at and just be like, okay, like, well, I guess they'll figure it out. Like, nah, like, I'm going to try and make someone see it.
yeah.
So I think like in terms of, tech and art, it's just like the technology when combined with art and artistic innovation like creates opportunities that wouldn't otherwise be available for people who like kind of desperately need opportunities because their environment and circumstance is prohibiting them in one way or
Mm,
another. I feel like a lot of people in Web3 are blessed to have a first world experience, many of us in America, and not face real plights in terms of, and by real plights, I mean like, I don't know where my next meal is coming
yeah.
from. I don't know if I'm going to have a roof over my head tomorrow. Like, these are our basic necessities. And luckily, many of us have access to these things. So, if we can use the technology to buy someone's incredible art and help their basic necessities be met and help them live good, why would I not do that? Like, that's crazy, especially when it's one of my black or brown brothers and sisters and not just Africans, people of all shades and colors everywhere. So I don't know. I know better, so I do better.
Very, very well said. Very well said. Um, yeah, just I'm not even gonna I'm just gonna leave we just gonna leave it at that. You know better, so you gonna do better. Cause you can't like make people you can't like shame people into doing better, you're not gonna like, oh, you're not doing this or you're doing this. So it's nobody's listening to that. Like I think, what you're doing by leading by example is the best example and to set and just show people like, hey, you know, I know better, so I'm doing better. I love that. I love that.
I hate complaining. I hate complaining and I hate listening to people complain. And I feel like, okay, I'm not going to complain. Like, I have the resources to like do something about this. So, like, I'm gonna. And it's worked out well, thankfully.
Hey, and it's gonna keep working because it's already your steps are already ordered. You just are following them out. Um, okay, so just a couple more questions here. Oh, this has been such a great conversation. Come on. See, I knew it had to happen through all the technical shenanigans. I was like, you know what? We're about to make this work. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, God. Couple more questions for you, Sierra, aka JuuJuuMama. What does culture mean to you?
Whew. That's a deep one. Culture. Culture to me, I guess in the most like simplified context is kind of what ties us together as human beings and how we find meaning in the world and our interactions with each other and how we form identity. So that can be through music, through food, through clothing, through our relationships and the type of people that we choose to congregate with. Culture takes many forms, art, obviously. So I think it just depends on how you want to slice it. But I think every way that we show up in the world as humans and engage with each other is like a manifestation of culture in one way or another.
Mm, like that. That was beautifully said. That I like that last part there of how we show up is culture manifested. I like that's really good. Um, Last question that I have for you. I guess it's a two-part question here. How do you define legacy, and what do you want your legacy to be?
Legacy. Mm. Legacy is like the aftertaste. Legacy is the aftertaste you leave behind. Once the meal is gone, what aftertaste you leaving in people's mouth? Is it sour? Is it sweet? That's what it boils down to. I don't want to leave a sour aftertaste in anyone's mouth for any reason because I don't like when people do that to me. It's unsettling. It doesn't make you feel valued. It makes you feel crappy. I try to leave people with good impressions and good vibes and good feelings and good juju, and that's why I'm JuuJuuMama. So yes, 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 yes. What was the second part of that question?
Second part of the question is, what do you want your legacy to be?
Okay. So yeah, aftertaste as a legacy. So I want my aftertaste to be sweet. I want people when they think or read or see about me to see that I moved with intention and that I cared and that there was genuine effort and energy. Because that's the thing. I feel like there's a lot of um, there's no other way to put it. There's a lot of half-assedness in the world. There's a lot of disingenuine people just showing up for clout or praise who don't. There are people who stage them helping homeless people just so somebody will comment and say good job. There's all types of craziness out in the world. So I want my legacy to be that I was genuine and that I showed up, like really showed up and wasn't pretending to show up. Like
Mm.
I didn't just put a black square on my Instagram profile picture.
Hey, you know what? Let me turn down my mic.
Let that be my legacy, please. Okay.
Not the black square. Oh.
Yeah. Please put that on my tombstone. Here lies someone who did more than just do the black square. Because, man, I'm tired of people. I really am. I really am. So it's just like, yeah, my legacy is that I did what I said I was going to do.
Hey, you're doing all that and then some. And so you are doing a great job at laying that foundation for that legacy. And just thank you again for joining us here on Culture Shift. Um, it is so exciting to see you just keep keep killing it. Keep just like what win after win after win. We are rooting for you. Keep sharing because like now I'm part now I need to know like are you going to Nigeria in June? Like I you know what I mean? Like now I'm invested in the story now. So no, this has been an incredible conversation, Sierra. Thank you again for your time and your brilliance and your artwork and your um, the curated collections and exhibitions that you are bringing to the blockchain that is super super needed and just want to acknowledge the time and energy and attention that takes to put together and so just thank you for all of that and thank you to everybody who tuned in to the live stream. This episode will be on podcasting services as well as on chain. So you'll be able to collect this as a digital collectible, and we'll be doing something cool and fun probably in the future with people who collect them. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you again for joining. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, and we will catch y'all on the next episode of Culture Shift. Peace.